Hi there and welcome to the Ground Noise and another video for beginner music producers. We will look at one of the most common ways to start a new project by creating a very simple loop. In our case, we really go hardcore and focus on only 4 bars. And later we'll turn it into a very nice piece of music. Does it sound interesting to you? Then subscribe to the channel because I'm doing such things very often, or I have plans to do that very often on my channel. Right now my channel is still very new and I'm still trying to find my tempo and the things I really want to do. So you can help me out in the comments. Just let me know what interests you the most. Enough of that, let's focus on our 4-bar loop here and set the tempo to 120. That's the standard tempo here in Cubase. And the first thing, there are many different ways to start a song, okay? You can have a melody, you can have a cool drum beat or a bass line, whatever. In our case, or what most people do, I think, when I look around on the internet, is they are looking for a 4-chord progression or something. And that's what we will do right now as well. So let's create a part here on this chord track. I have this sound. Synth brass sound, and we open the track and now I can write chords into the editor. That's not what I do normally. Normally I like to play, but I want to keep this really simple so that everybody can start making music, even if you can't play an instrument. To be honest, it helps a lot if you kind of know what you're doing, if you have a little bit of musical experience, okay? So we know how chords work. If you don't know, I have videos on my channel, just look around. Let's stay focused. I have so many things to explain every time, I'm sorry. I want to write something here in F minor. That's my first chord. So I write F minor in this editor. It sounds like this. Very nice, and now I go to what is it? C major and E flat major and B flat major. So these are our chords. You can write them down. Again, it's F minor, C major, E flat major, and B flat major. How does it sound? And then it starts from the beginning. And our job is to make it more interesting and to create a little mini song here, or track, whatever. It's an instrumental track. So what can we do with this part here? The sound is a bit too aggressive to be a pad sound, in my opinion. I have another idea. I want to add some rhythm to this part here. And to do that, it's very simple. I just select all notes of that chord, and then I select my scissors tool, and I make little cuts here and there. I pretty much know what I want right now, so don't worry. And I also shorten the notes because so far it sounds a bit crazy, a bit too chaotic, and that's the reason I shorten everything quite a bit. The length of a note is always very important, okay? Just make a note. Okay, I think it's a bit too fast, the tempo here. We will look at that a little bit later. Just let's continue with the next chord and add the same rhythm to the second chord here, the C major. So. Very nice. And I will quickly continue with the other 2 chords. And now I'll go for another tempo. I think it's about 100 or something for that rhythm. 104 is one of my favorite numbers. Bop, 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 bop. Very nice. But to really decide if it's cool and if the tempo is right, it's time to add some drums. Okay, that's always the second thing I do. If I don't start with the drum part, it's at least the second thing I want to do. I activate the click, and what I normally do is I jam a bit with my here it is. Okay, with my pads here. I give you a few examples. The first thing you want to do is most likely a 4 to the floor beat. Okay, that's very cool. But there are other options. Of course, I could add a snare. Something like that. And I would go on and continue jamming. For me, it's just a picture of the moment. And so I like to jam every part just to find the right vibe of that moment. I could also try a halftime groove, for example, to see if that sounds cool. Something really straight, many things. Or I could go with the accents of the keyboard. Many options, and it's great fun to figure all that out. Don't worry if you can't play like that, or if you haven't that experience. I'm a drummer, you know. I know such things, and it's no reason to be ashamed or something. Just figure it out. Just get into the mood and don't be afraid of mistakes or something. So what will I do now? I think I go with a combination. I will play a 4 on the floor in the first beat, and then go with the accents of the synthesizer, and let's see. Record. Good. But it should be really straightforward, so I quantize everything. I just like to play. I could also write everything in the editor here, the same way we did it with the chord pad. I mean the chord part here. You know what I mean. And also there are some unwanted ghost notes. And I give every note the same velocity. And now I continue with the drum part by adding the snare drum, but I do it quite differently than most other people. I haven't seen anybody doing it like this, because I love to use the lanes here in Cubase. These are normally made for multi-track recording, live recording, so that you can record, for example, a guitar solo all over again without stopping the program. You can just continue the loop and play it all over again, and later decide what part was the best. And it's very easy to do. We would do it in another tutorial here, another video. Quick look at the editor. This is a drum editor. You can see the drum editor when you choose the GM map here, or you can also create your own drum maps. I normally go with, when I use the Groove Agent plugin, I go with the GM map. But okay, back to the lanes. I go to the lane, to the empty lane here, and there I can play or record the snare, and it will be way easier to edit them later, because they are separated from all the other notes of the bass drum or the hi-hat or something. That's cool. I can create a part here, and now we just can write it down, snare, a few snare strokes, always on 2 and 4. Nice. Just a few moments later I came up with the hi-hat part. I also separated the hi-hats on another track. Don't ask me why. Sometimes I do it like this, sometimes I do it differently. But in this case I made a hi-hat part that's a combination of 3 different sounds. You know, normally when people hear a 4 on the floor bass drum, they add an hi-hat on the offbeat. Yeah, okay. But that's not always the best options, and I like this hi-hat part more. And later I would tweak it and make it more dirty and a little bit off-grid, not so straight on the grid. But not today. I will make another video about the arrangement. Let's have a listen. Okay, always check the meters, have a look at the meters to see when a problem appears. I can already say that it's pretty loud, our track here, but not really bad. We still have some headroom, no problem, because we need to add more instruments. For example, the bass. The bass is, of course, very super important and also pretty much fun to play. So how we figure out the bass? My preferred way is always to try to play it on the keyboard and jam along, even though I'm not a good keyboard player. You know, going into the editor and writing some notes down is also an option, but it's very limited, a very restricted way to do it. It's good when you have already an idea for the bass and then you write it down, like I had an idea with the chords, for example. But hey, why I'm talking so much? Just let's play. That's cool. No second guessing, just take the first idea, have fun and nail it, or try to nail it. And nailed it. But we need to look in the editor. It's always a question, quantize or not quantize, There is a wrong note, a dirt note. But so far it doesn't look too bad. Very nice. Cool, I like it, but I need to level out the velocity. Best way to do it is to select all, Control and A, and then we can move all these notes vertically, or all the velocity values. You see that? Just to bring it a little closer together, and then I leave the mouse alone and touch it again and bring everything a little bit down, because it doesn't need to be at full level. The first note is also a little bit late. I don't know if that's a bad thing. No, it's not late. It's okay. I'm not sure. nice line. Da, 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 da. It's one of my key lines. I think I do that very often. So, okay, what else do we have here? A pad sound. Okay, a pad is also a very nice idea. And also it's time to think about when enough is enough. Okay, don't overproduce that early in the process. Don't overproduce at all. That doesn't make sense. I recommend always leave a little bit space for imagination after every session. So when you open this session again tomorrow or something, there's still room for new ideas in both directions, for more parts, better parts, or less parts. Maybe it's already too much what we did here. I don't think so, but it's only a chord pad, drum part, and a bass line. That can't be too much, to be honest. What can we do with a pad? When it comes to pad sounds, I'm always very careful because pads can really mess things up. They sound nice, wonderful, and before you realize it, it's too late and everything sounds like a muddy hole of dirty, wet blah. You know what I mean? And what I want to say with that is I most of the time play only one note on the pad for a start. Maybe we need more a little later, but let's see what it does. What am I playing here? I play jamming again. Oh yes, we have a little chromatic run. Quantize and also length quantize, because I really want pad sounds to be very clean, because I know when something's wrong in the mix, it's always the pad. I think I will make a video about that topic. Okay, also velocity, let's set it to 90 or something. Okay, and that's very cool. And there's quite a lot of room for variations. I copy all of that, and now we have an 8-bar loop, not a 4-bar loop anymore. And I just can change a little bit of, well, not all together here, like the pad note. Okay. I think that is even better. Okay, this goes down in a chromatic way and then it goes up, so it's kind of uplifting, I think. And the next step is most of the time for me to find more like plug sounds for the right and the left channel to add a little bit movement to all of this here. Then I would start to arrange the track. So I simply just by moving the parts and copying the parts and let the track tell a little story. But we won't do that right now. We will do that in another video, because I think that's a really important topic. Many people struggle because, you know, everybody can come up with 8 bars like this using a chord pad in the DAW if you can't make up your own chords, and add a 4 on the floor beat and a simple bass line. That's not a really big problem for most people. But when it comes to arranging that to make it really sound like a piece of music and not just a 4 or 8 bar loop or beat, however you call it, then people start to struggle, and I want to definitely make more tutorials about that, or tutorials. I just show you the way I do it and hope it's helpful for you. So far, this is what we have. That's a good way to figure out how the parts work together. For example, if I mute the chords and the pad, I only hear the drums and the bass. And when you look at the professional mixing engineers or something, they mute and solo all the time. It goes in and out, and we can also mute single parts like this here. It's one of my favorite functions on the mute tool, and just mute this the first two parts here. You see, it's really a cool way to figure out your first steps in arrangement. You can just test out if it's cool when the bass drum and the bass comes later. For example, only the snare. But so far, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will meet again in the next one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Marcus, and I thank you very much for watching The Ground Noise, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye bye.